Welcome to this lesson on optimizing network service performance using zero-copy I/O. In today's highly connected world, network services like web servers, proxy servers, and content delivery networks are fundamental. Their efficiency directly impacts user experience and operational costs. A major bottleneck in these services often lies in how they handle input-output operations, particularly when moving data between storage, memory, and network sockets. Traditional I/O methods involve multiple data copies and context switches, consuming valuable CPU cycles and memory bandwidth. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore these inefficiencies and then dive into advanced techniques like sendfile and splice that revolutionize data transfer by virtually eliminating these bottlenecks, leading to significant performance gains and a smoother experience for the end user. Understanding these concepts is crucial for anyone building high-performance network applications.
Let's first understand what happens in a typical data transfer operation using the traditional read and write system calls. Imagine a web server serving a static file. The process begins with an application requesting data from the kernel using read. The kernel then reads the data from disk into its own kernel buffer. Next, the kernel copies that data from its buffer into the application's user space buffer. Once the data is in the application's memory, the application calls write to send it over the network. The kernel then copies the data again from the application's user space buffer back into a kernel socket buffer. Finally, the kernel sends the data from the socket buffer to the network interface. This entire sequence involves 4 data copies and at least 2 contact switches between user and kernel space, which is far from optimal. The repeated data copying in traditional I/O creates significant overhead. Each copy operation consumes CPU cycles and memory bandwidth, which could otherwise be used for application logic or serving more requests. For large files or high-throughput network services, this overhead quickly becomes a major performance bottleneck. Consider a scenario where a server is handling thousands of concurrent connections, each requiring data transfer. The cumulative effect of these inefficiencies can lead to higher latency, lower throughput, and increased resource utilization. Moreover, context switches, while necessary, also incur a performance cost, as the CPU must save and restore the state of processes. Reducing these operations is key to building scalable and responsive network services. Zero-copy I/O directly addresses these challenges by minimizing or eliminating unnecessary data movement. This brings us to the concept of zero-copy I/O. The core principle behind zero-copy is to eliminate redundant data copies between kernel and user space. Instead of moving data through multiple buffers, zero-copy techniques aim to transfer data directly from its source to its destination. For network services, this often means moving data directly from a disk buffer to a network socket buffer, entirely bypassing the user space application buffer. This approach significantly reduces CPU utilization, frees up memory bandwidth, and minimizes context switches. The result is a more efficient data path, leading to higher throughput and lower latency for data-intensive applications. It's not about literally zero copies in all cases, but about eliminating the copies that move data through the user space application, making the kernel handle the entire transfer internally. One of the most common zero-copy mechanisms is the sendfile system call. Available on Unix-like operating systems, sendfile is designed specifically for transferring data directly from a file descriptor to a socket descriptor. When sendfile is called, the kernel reads the file data from the disk into its internal page cache. Instead of copying this data to user space, the kernel then directly copies it from the page cache into the socket buffer. In modern Linux kernels, even this second copy can be avoided by having the network interface card, NIC, directly access the kernel page cache buffers using gather operations, known as scatter/IO. This means the data effectively moves from disk cache to the network buffer with only 2 copies at most, and often only 1 if the NIC supports Gather I/O, completely bypassing the user space application and significantly reducing context switches to just 2. The sendfile system call is highly effective for specific scenarios. Its primary use case is serving static files over a network, making it invaluable for web servers, FTP servers, and CDNs. Any application that frequently needs to send the content of a file directly to a client without modification can benefit significantly from sendfile. However, sendfile isn't a silver bullet. A key limitation is its inability to modify data during transfer, as the data never enters user space. If your application needs to compress, encrypt, or perform any other transformation on the data before sending it, sendfile cannot be used directly. Also, it's typically restricted to transferring data between a file descriptor and a socket descriptor. It cannot be used for general-purpose interprocess communication or arbitrary data streams. These constraints mean it fits specific, high-performance static content serving needs.
While sendfile excels at file-to-socket transfers, Splice offers a more generalized zero-copy approach available in Linux. The Splice system call moves data between 2 file descriptors without ever copying it to user space. Unlike sendfile, Splice can operate on any 2 arbitrary file descriptors, provided one of them is a pipe. This flexibility allows for powerful data pipelining scenarios. For example, you can splice data from a socket into a pipe and then from that pipe into another socket, effectively forwarding network traffic with zero copy. The kernel intelligently manages the data transfer by mapping pages directly between the kernel buffers associated with the 2 file descriptors. This method again bypasses user space copies, resulting in minimal CPU usage and memory bandwidth consumption, offering a high-performance conduit for data streams. The flexibility of Splice makes it suitable for a wider range of scenarios than sendfile. It's particularly useful for building high-performance proxies, data forwarders, and custom network routers. For instance, a proxy server could splice data from an incoming client socket to a pipe, and then from that pipe to an upstream server socket, all without consuming user space CPU or memory for the actual data transfer. However, like sendfile, Splice also has its limitations. The data cannot be modified by the application during the splicing process. If any application-level processing, like payload inspection, logging, or transformation, Splice is not directly applicable. Furthermore, its reliance on pipes can add a slight complexity to the application design compared to sendfile. It's a powerful tool, but its zero-copy nature inherently means a hands-off approach for application logic. Choosing between sendfile and Splice depends entirely on your specific use case and requirements. Sendfile is the go-to solution when you need to send the exact contents of a file directly to a network socket without any intermediate processing. It's simpler to implement for this specific scenario and is highly optimized for static file serving. Think web servers delivering HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or images. On the other hand, Splice offers greater versatility. If you need to shuttle data between arbitrary file descriptors or chain multiple data streams together without bringing them into user space, Splice is the appropriate choice. This includes scenarios like proxying network traffic, building custom routing logic, or creating specialized data pipelines. The key differentiator is the source and destination of your data and whether any modification is required. Both prioritize efficiency by minimizing data copies and context switches. In conclusion, sendfile and Splice are powerful zero-copy I/O mechanisms that offer significant advantages for network services. By drastically reducing data copies and context switches, they provide higher throughput, lower latency, and more efficient resource utilization. For UI/UX product designers and developers, understanding these underlying optimizations translates directly into faster loading times, more responsive applications, and a smoother overall user experience. Imagine a website where images load instantly, or a streaming service that experiences minimal buffering. These are the tangible benefits of applying zero-copy techniques. While they require careful consideration of their limitations, particularly the inability to modify data mid-transfer, they are indispensable tools in the arsenal of anyone building high-performance, scalable network applications. Embracing zero-copy I/O is a clear step towards building the next generation of efficient and user-friendly digital experiences.